Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining and sorry about the delay for today. I was connecting the system to the live stream and finally I was able to connect. So yeah, sorry about the delay. So let's start today's session. I hope we are having a great weekend today. So yeah, let's see. Let me set everything in place and get started. So today's psychology. Today's psychology live stream, because every Saturdays I talk about psychology or money management related topics, because these are also very important as a trader, everyone. So yeah, so let me squeeze my face and start the session now. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so before starting here, just a quick disclaimer as usual. This information is based on my experience knowledge. So when you take trades, please do with your own risk management. And also, if you can follow the guidelines rules on this live stream, that would be great. Because after all, we're all here to learn. That's the key here. So let me quickly say hi to everyone and start the session right away. So all right, Amin, thank you for joining. Good morning. And Azulina, thank you for joining the Ichimoku community here. So once you join the Ichimoku community, please come to the website. Please come to my website about Ichimoku and scroll down and you can join the Discord. Please join Discord and connect your YouTube account, Discord, and you get all the perks, 3 books and some video archives in the past, and also community posts, and you have some custom indicators and all these on this community. So please join Discord and I will be waiting for you there. So thank you, stay gold. All right, and James and Rush and Suresh, Kishore and Dan Vanda, thank you for joining. All right, Ecosys, Blackwater, Ivan, Arania and Wong, Vinet, thank you for joining. James, Libor and Pham, Jai, John Smith, and TRI, Gabby and Victor, thank you for joining. Triple, good to see you too. All right, so today's topic is about the psychology. So I have created a small slide as usual. So based on this slide, I will talk about the importance in the pitfall of the stress management. Pitfall of the stress management about SNS is today's keyword. So, so I did the poll last week. I posted the polls and last week on my YouTube account and also Twitter. My question was, how often do you check SNS? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. How often do you check these SNS per week and or per day? And I got 506 votes on YouTube community, and the most was multiple times per day. Multiple times per day, 63%. Wow, so more than 50% members, more than 50%, 63% are checking SNS, either Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any SNS multiple times per day, more than once a day. And once a day, 11%, few times per week, 11%, and once a week is 15%. So that's very interesting. And also, I did the same poll on Twitter, and I got 61 votes on Twitter, and multiple times per day is the most. Yeah, this was the most, 70.5%. So yeah, it looks like more than 50% of the members are watching or viewing the SNS multiple times per day. So actually that's the pitfall of the stress management, especially if you are a Forex trader, if you are a stock trader, index trader, or commodity trader, even crypto trader. This SNS can be a huge impact on your psychology and also your stress level. And I will talk about this based on some researches on some institutes for today's topic. Because I have a psychological background myself, I have studied psychology in the US, so every Saturdays, recently I created these posts, and based on these posts results, I talk about this important mindset. So one of the researches was done by Happiness Institute, and they took 1,095 Facebook users, and they divided these Facebook users into two groups. One is they keep using Facebook for the next 1 week. Another group, B, they forced to stop using SNS. They stop using the Facebook or any SNS. They can be anywhere, like they can be at university or at home or any places, but the rule was that for the next 1 week, do not use any SNS. And that was group B. Group A kept using the Facebook. So, and afterwards, after 1 week of the assessment, they checked the level of happiness afterwards and see the result. Compare the result between these two groups. And the result was group A, who kept using SNS for the next 1 week, the level of happiness was the same. That's understandable, right? They kept using the SNS, and the level of happiness is the same. The level of stress was also the same. But the group B, without SNS for the next 1 week, the level of happiness increased 18%. So they gained 80% level of happiness, or level of stress actually decreased after 1 week. So this is a very interesting result. And so simply, if you keep using SNS every week or every day or multiple times per day, your level of stress increases and your level of happiness decreases than those who don't use SNS. So that's a fact, right? That's a fact. And I don't say that, I'm not against SNS. I use SNS also. I use Facebook, I use Twitter, I use YouTube. But the point here is that how to manage SNS posts is the key here. So before talking about that, the reason why the result was like that was for those who were actually into group B, who stopped using SNS, they took more time for real communication with family, friends. They stopped using SNS and they started to talk face-to-face or phone with family and friends. And in that way, the level of happiness increased and level of stress decreased in that way. And I will tell you the reason why in a minute. But also, there was also another research at University of Innsbruck in Austria revealed the similar result. They also took some Facebook users and did the similar research, and the result was the same, very much similar. So actually, there are many universities or many institutes who does this kind of researches around the world, Instagram, YouTube even, or recently like TikTok. They actually investigated some TikTok users and investigated the level of stress and happiness. And all the research is almost like the same result. So the reason is that this one, the post on SNS tends to show good pictures, good posts, and they try to present nicely, or sometimes they post some very tasty food or a nice picture, nice scenery views, or like nice lifestyle they post on the SNS. And that's like a norm, right? So sometimes they post something strange, something sad, but most of the time, more than 90%, more than 90% of the posts are positive posts because they want to show others that they are positive. They are either feeling good, happy. They want to post these posts on the SNS, and mainly that's the intention of why people post on this SNS. And for those who watch these posts, they compare. They start to compare their own life to these posts, and that's how they create stress internally. Because when they see for example, when they see someone goes to a nice place or someone is doing some happy lifestyle, then as you compare yourself with that, then you might wonder, oh, I should become like that. I should be happy. I should be happy also. But look at me, I'm not really happy. I'm very stressed, and I did some very bad trades today. I lost some money. But if you see those posts who actually does, for example, very well in the Forex trades, or who makes money, right? For example, on the posts, and you compare, and you have stress, and your level of happiness decreases automatically if you keep perceiving these posts in that way. So, how to improve the mindset as a pro trader is today's main topic. And here I have selected some of the solutions to that. And one is, do not compare with others. Do not compare with others. This is very important. So, you can view SNS, you can watch the posts for others with others, that's fine, but do not compare with others' posts is the key here, one of the keys. Because when you start to compare, as I mentioned, your level of stress increases, level of happiness decreases automatically. And that's the very important mindset. So I use SNS, but I hardly see others' posts. I hardly watch others' videos, YouTube. Or actually, I enjoy some funny videos or some other videos, but I hardly watch others YouTubers or some other channels for teaching Forex or anything like that. I used to watch these, but nowadays I don't watch anymore, because when I watch these videos or posts, then I might start to compare the result per weekly, per daily, or monthly, or I might compare even the number of subscribers maybe, or number of views. I might start to compare. So, and I know that it creates some stress in myself, and that's why I don't really watch others' posts and videos myself. I just do my own, but with my own pace, and that is the most important key. So if you take trades, you can lose, you can win, but you don't compare this result with others is a key, because after all, you are the one who makes decision and take trades. And the second way to improve your mindset as a pro trader is do not imitate with others. Do not imitate with others. So sometimes, for example, like myself, you will see me trace, you see my trace, you see exactly where I take a buy, take a sell, and you might start to copy the way I take trades. You might start to copy the way I look at the charts and analyze the charts and take trades. But if you start to imitate, if you start to copy someone else's trades, then that also increases the level of stress and decreases the level of happiness, because we're different, and you can't be the one, you can be someone else after all. So, for example, if you see someone else is buying a new car and driving a new car, you don't compare and you don't copy. You don't have to go for these others flashy lifestyles, because the life is on your own and on my own also. So it's different. But if you can learn something special, something new that can grow yourself, then it's like it's important. It's valuable. It's valuable. But if you don't learn from these posts, and if you only try to copy and compare with yourself, then that's not the way as a pro trader. So myself as a pro trader, because the Forex trades is my main source of income, so since I became a pro trader, I don't really look at others' posts. I only look at them when I need some advice, some needs, clues, or some ideas about what I do right now. But I don't really screen all the posts and just jump around. I don't really do that. When I screen these videos or when I screen these posts, I have an intention of why I screen these posts, because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for some advice. I'm looking for some answer to these posts. And that's the only time when I see these SNS. But otherwise, I don't really see this as a pro trader. So that's actually another key here. And also, this is related to the previous ones, but accept your current situation is also important as a pro trader, because if you cannot accept your current situation, current environment, then you might start to compare with others. If others are doing better, then you might start to compare and you blame yourself that you are still not profitable, you are still struggling. You might blame yourself. And this is not really a good attitude as a pro trader. Yeah, because you can regret, but more important thing is that you have to learn from these losing trades. You have to learn from these losses and failures. Otherwise, you cannot go forward. You cannot step furthermore. So, my main message for today's live stream is that take your own will to make decisions is the key here. Take your own will to make decisions. So we have will. I have my own will. I used to have my own will to become a pro trader, and now I became the one. And I had the will to relocate from Japan to Dubai, and I did that. And from now on, I have a will to start trading on stock market indices from October or November. So that's another will. And I start to invest my asset into different investing opportunities. I want to diversify my asset into other investments. And that's the main reason why I came to Dubai. But that is my will. And based on my will and based on my goal, I start to search and look for advice. But that should be on your own term, on my own term. And so you have will and you have goal, your own goal. And it should be different from mine. But as long as you make your own decision, that's a way to be a pro trader. Otherwise, you can't run profits over time. It's impossible. Because I was the one who was comparing with others, who were copying with others, and I didn't accept my situation in the past. So I know how it feels, and I figured the way to overcome these stress mindset. So, and basically, so no matter which market you're trading, whether it's Forex or stock markets, indices, commodity, gold, or oil, or cryptocurrency, no matter which market you are in, you are trading right now, the decisions should be on your own, and never compare the result, never compare the entry timings and the exit timings with others. You can only learn from others, but never compare. And also, do not copy with others. never copy, but you can learn from them and you can take it for your own strategy and you can create your own strategy like that. And also accept your current situation is the key. And if you can follow these guidelines, then you can watch SNS. You can look through SNS, but most likely the way you look at the SNS will be different if you follow these rules. So that is my talk for today. So yeah, let me come back to some comments now for the next maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so, and have a little chat here. Since this is a relaxing Saturday today. There was a window cleaning actually today. The guys were outside cleaning windows. It was like mission impossible. So I took the picture, so I will upload on my Twitter later on. So that's SNS, so do not compare with anything else. Yeah, I thought it's fun, so I will post it afterwards. So yeah, once again, thank you for joining everyone. Great to see you. It's a nice, relaxing Saturday. Oh, Jay, you watched my Dubai apartment video on my second channel. Oh yeah, I posted the one today. I just wanted to share how I start to live here, and the reasons why specifically pick this apartment unit. So yeah, you can enjoy the video. But once again, never compare, right? Never compare. Only learn something new from the videos is a key. Okay, so let's see. Let me pick some comments here. All right, let's see. Asif says, in my opinion, one reason social media increases depression is the impression that everyone else has a good life and yours inadequate. Furthermore, this depression also happens without anyone else's post, because your posts in the past are also good posts, so you think you are not as happy as you were then. That's true, yeah. That's actually psychology. That's also psychology. Yeah. It's a downward spiral. Yeah, it's downtrending in that way. Yeah. So, yeah, SNS is fun. It's fun to view others' posts and how they're living, but yeah, most of the time it's not real. I mean, I wouldn't say real, but most of the time they exaggerate the posts. But that's SNS. So as long as you follow these disciplines, then you should be fine. It's the same. It's like the same as Forex trades too. Like yeah, never compare is a key. So let's see. Thank you for joining. Thank you for these comments, everyone. Great to see you. Someone else says comparing others is tough because it's hard to know what's real and fake anyways. That's true. Yeah. Even if he sees these nice posts, beautiful posts, on the other side, on the background, you never know how he or she felt when he or she took these posts. So that's true. It says, yes, okay, for now, you're our role model. Sure, thank you for that comment. Everdream says, that's why I like Kay. He only concentrates on teaching us, not on boasting his success. Even though he is very successful, Kay is very humble. Oh, thank you for the comment. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm not really showing off this lifestyle, because yeah, I know that I have to be very still careful. I have to be very cautious to keep this lifestyle and actually achieve my future goals. So yeah, like I mentioned, we are different, all different. Our goal is different. Motivation is different. The lifestyle should be different too. I like this lifestyle, and that's why I live in this building. But if I like to live in the forest, then I will pick the one. Or in the future, if I start to liking living in the forest or by the lake, then I will do that. So yeah, motivation is the key. Yeah, where it's coming from. Not by comparing with others. Motivation should be coming from your inside. Yeah, let's see. Michael says, what do you think about cryptocurrencies? I never traded cryptocurrencies, so I'm not sure is my answer. But yeah, looks like it's going up right now after some range in market. Bitcoin, Ethereum especially is going up right now. I just watch these markets, although I don't take trades. So yeah, I would say that it is interesting. Yeah, I think the risk management is really the key for cryptocurrency trades. Well, to decide on our own understanding. Yeah, that's true. That's the key here. Kakikero says, every trader has quite the same experience. Thank you, Kei. You make my learning very fast forward. Oh, glad to hear that. Yeah, every trader has quite the same experience. Yeah, there are ups and downs. Myself too, there are ups and downs. On the month of July was good. It was positive. I got some returns. But on the month of June was very bad. Actually, I didn't lose, but it was like a break-even month of the month of June. And on the month of July, because I was busy for relocation from Japan to Dubai on the first part of the July, so I didn't take any trades. So I only took trades after 15th of July. So there are ups and downs in performance in the result every month, and also in the market itself too. So we have to know how to adapt these changing environment, these changing markets. Especially Forex, it goes up and down every week. Especially last week, we had some big events, big news. Not sure if you watched the market after the NFP. Right, the USD went so high, and the market goes against the major direction. And the JPY too. Last week, JPY pairs went against the major direction, and that's market, that's Forex. So when it changes, you have to switch mindset and be adaptive to these new trends and new environment, new setups. Let's see. Ivan says, okay, how do we manage overconfident feeling when we want to trade? Because usually this will make us increase the lot of trading and getting stressed again when we wrong. That's also an interesting psychology topic. When you win, especially when you win big, then you might become overconfident. But never be overconfident by one single win, is my advice. Never be confident on one single winner, or one single day winner, or one single month winner. Never be overconfident is the key. So you can because we have to keep trading. We have to keep trading, and the goal is to, of course, to become profitable for everyone. who does this. But the key is that there are ups and downs. So so you can't simply be happy on one single win, and also you can't be sad on one single loss. So look at the performance in numbers, not by money, but these ratio numbers and also percentages. Yeah, never look at these, how much you won, how much you lost. Yeah, it might create some overconfidence, and also when you lose, you will lose the confidence. Yeah, related to some markets, I will talk about it tomorrow on Sunday forecast. So let me cover some of other comments related to today's topic. Yeah, Asif says, plan the future, but make sure you live today. Focus on self-development, self-control, and self-improvement. Keep smiling and have fun is the key. That's true. That's a very positive words there. Yeah. Yeah, self-development, improvement is very important. Maybe you've heard of the word Kaizen, like a Toyota way Kaizen is very important. Individual levels needs to also practice Kaizen, improvements constantly and never ending. World Tracker says, how can I stop myself to take too many trades? If you take too many trades, then that means, I'm not sure what strategy you're following, but if you think that you take too many trades, and if you think that it's stressful, then you can switch to higher time frames, for example, and be a day trader or swing trade, so that you have less trades. Anthony says, I refuse to have social media on my new laptop with the exception of Discord. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, Discord is for Ichimoku community, so we need this. But like public Discord, yeah, it's like Discord as SNS. It's I think it's not necessary. Pham says, hi, if you have a busy day but you see a good trend for trade, so have you take the trade and have do other works? Yeah. If there's a big trend, then I will just focus on the charts, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, and if I see opportunity, then take trades and leave the chart and come back to other works. Yeah. Oh, looks like many viewers here have watched my videos on second channel, Global Village. Yeah, I went there on March. It was very fun. You are the next BNF. He is the legend. He's a legend. He's over the top level. Jai says, I'm debating with whether to go to university and go into investment banking or to trade full-time, as I feel I would enjoy both paths. I'm just struggling to choose. Maybe you can choose both if possible. Yeah, but I'm sure the knowledge, experience, and trades is very important. Yeah. All right, thanks for the comments, everyone. Good to see you. All right, Victor, you're welcome. For me, he says, for me, I apply my Kendo into trading. That's interesting. keep a beginner mind, always strive to learn more, be humble and respect. That is the key. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. So in Japanese we say, how to say, like the more you become rich. I mean, it's not that straight. Like it's like how to say, you know the wheat. The wheat is a very thin stem, and as it has the wheat itself, the seeds of the wheat becomes bigger and bigger, and because the stem is very thin, it actually bends like this. Yeah, you see. I hope you catch what I say. So, the wheat or the rice. Even rice is like this, and as the rice grows and grows here, like if there are more rices here on the tip of the stem, then it bends like this way. So this is what we say usually in Japanese, is that the more you become rich, the more you become humble. Like you have more seeds here, you have more assets, you become more rich, but you have to bend. Like we bow like this when we greet someone, when we respect someone, we bow like this. So as you become more rich, then you have to bow to more people. Like it's like the saying here. So yeah, so never be overconfident on anything, right? Never be overconfident on trades, and also never be overconfident on anything, relationship, job, or anything you do. Okay, Bao says, hi Kei, I know you mainly take trades based on Ichimoku, but in any case that you also use other indicators such as Elliott or Fibonacci. I do use these other indicators in lower time frames, in 5 or 50-minute charts. When I take trades, when I look for confirmations for entry edges, I use these different indicators. But on higher time frames, I only use Ichimoku for indicator. Of course, I draw lines. I draw support line, resistance line, trend lines, or P wave. I draw these. But as for indicator, I only use Ichimoku with candlesticks. Let's see, Trader Steve says, how do you adapt and manage sleep and stress while trading the various market openings and closings? For example, do you concentrate on the Asian Open, Euro Open, and Euro Cross, and American Open, all three? I focus on the Euro Open for sure. London Open, I focus, and New York Open too. So now that I'm in Dubai, when I wake up in the morning and towards the lunchtime, the London opens. So simply in the morning, I read books and I just relax some places around, and I reply emails, or I think about some ideas in the future. And when the market opens in London, then I come to chart, or slightly before the London Open, I come to charts, screen charts, pairs, and if I see some trending markets, then I just mark these and just monitor these markets, and I do something else during the day. And then I come back to the week on the New York session and screen all the charts again and see which one's trending, and then I pick the one to trade. So that's my style. Okay, Trader Steve says, it's sometimes challenging when you have a regular 7-to-5 job and then try to come home tired, but needs to catch the American Europe Open, Europe close. Yeah, I think depending on the location, it must be very challenging to watch the London Open and New York Open too. Yeah, but you don't have to watch the Open or the beginning of the sessions. You can always come to the markets during the session, and if you see the trend, then you can just follow it. Alright, thank you for joining everyone once again. It's so nice to see everyone on this relaxing Saturday, and thank you for all the comments, and thank you for being nice on these comments. Oh, Blackwater, thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the words. Yeah, simply I share my views and also the market views, psychological views, and risk management views based on my experience, and that's basically all I can do. Okay, so I do see more comments, but unfortunately I have to close the session. So yeah, I will come back to these comments after I close the session and enjoy these comments afterwards. So yeah, once again, thank you for joining today's live stream. I hope it was fun, it was learning. So tomorrow on Sunday, let me hide my screen. Yeah, on Sunday, every Sundays I screen charts. So I have Forex pairs, 21 pairs I screen, and also I cover gold and WTI oil, and also indices, New York, US indexes, Europe indexes, and Nifty I cover, and some other indexes, and also cover the next week upcoming news. So hopefully you can join the session tomorrow, and I will see you there. So yeah, so once again, thank you for joining, and please have a great weekend. I do see that some parts of the world, the cases of the COVID is increasing, so I hope yourself, your family and friends, everybody is safe and healthy condition. So until I see you next time, please stay healthy, stay safe once again, and stay gold. Alright, bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.